last 2 years, yes, I do not take them for granted at all. They have been incredibly generous, not in terms of only the volume of work, but the kind of variety of work.
Even in our cast, some people used to be initially in
Yeah,
initial
yeah.
days used to think like that कि अरे यार ताहिर थोड़ा intimidating है, वो
Yeah.
क्या सोचता है, वो गुस्से में रहता है.
To assure you and through you, all your viewers, that I am not.
He is not
I'm
Guys, do
angry.
not trust him.
I'm
आर्टी सिनेमा के लोग जो आ रहे थे, they were constantly demanding nudity. You know,
Okay.
and full surrender. And I was told to get dressed in half an hour or 40 minutes again. And I remember telling this woman that, listen, you're a woman, I'm a woman. I've been through something right now.
Yeah.
हाँ कुछ तो है जो मैं सोचता नहीं हूँ कि मैं हूँ, पर कुछ लोगों को शायद दिख जाता है कि ये है.
होली सूरत दिल के खोट.
If you are a fan of Masi entertainers, then well, you are in for a treat because the gang of Sultan of Delhi is all set to bring you a gripping show. Hello, welcome to Showreel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
super. How are you?
I am
Well.
good, absolutely okay. So as I'll start with the fact that this drama is set in the 1960s, and you get to get all the get-up of the 60s, you know, with the hairstyles, which is looking very cool, by the way, in the trailer, with the outfits, and also the sets. And being an actor, you also get an opportunity to go to the 60s and live that era, which we do not. We see the show and we go there. So how was the process like? We'll start with you.
Process was long,
Yeah.
but interesting, and you know, as you said, to start off with the hair, the look, basically
Yeah.
the physicality. You know, if like I had once I met Milan sir, and you know, we knew ki what kind of palette and what kind of a look he's designing
Yeah.
for my character Bengali, who is a guy who's flamboyant. He has humor. He has all the shades. A colorful kind of a vibrant guy. So all the costumes, you know, came into play. Then the hair. I mean, we took a lot of time in getting the hair in place.
Yeah.
A couple of rehearsals, couple of look tests we did, and finally, we along with Milan sir, me and Tahir went to Hakim Alim. So Alim designed our look, and then that day, instantly, first time we got our hair right. So yeah, with all these elements, then the guns and the cars and anything, like from the minor detail
Yeah.
to yeah, you know, things like cars and bikes, everything was just put into play. And so yeah, all these things just were very interesting and very entertaining for me also as a person to
Of
get into
course.
that era.
Yeah. So as you talk about the men in the show, you tell me how was your experience as a female and you know getting all those hairstyles जो आजकल हम लोग actually parties में 90s का 60s का वो करते theme रखते हैं, but you get to live in that era. How was your
It
experience?
was gorgeous. So much so I think हम सभी को वो बहुत पसंद है. आज भी आप देखें हम सब लोग कहीं ना कहीं vintage look में ही आना चाहते हैं. And I think that's not just because for the promotions of the show, that's also for the love
Of course,
the way
yeah.
we get to dress in
Yeah.
that vintage look. We don't want to step away from that because it is very exciting. Like today, my brief to my entire team was that this is one chance. I don't know when will I be able to do this again.
Right.
Even for a promotion, because you then also have to at least make it a little realistic,
Of course.
you know, according to the series. Here, Shankriya is a Shankriya. I can be over the top.
Of
in
course.
in such a way. So yeah, but anyways, it was beautiful. It was amazing because I also discovered the character through that whole journey. Kudos to the styling team, and they are one of the finest styling teams I've worked with because it's one of the most difficult characters I've worked on in terms of styling. There's so much of detailing. There's so much of elements that are put there. They have to go according to the director, but at the same point in time, they were very, very receptive of how I saw the character, what kind of inputs I had. If I was a little conscious in certain spaces about my body type, the way my body is, they were always listening. If I had, you know, those thoda requests, कि यार this costume
Yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah.
light, let's push it for this scene because I'll be able to put my leg up
Right.
here and I'll be able to do this, and probably this is how the camera would be, we'll be able to capture this element. They were listening, which many times as stylists, they don't care. They don't
Okay.
listen to the actors in terms of the scene, and I don't feel the need to always step and go to Milan sir to
True.
talk, because creatively mostly the director is the one who's aware. The stylists are
course.
very seldom aware of what's happening in the scene creatively to be able to understand where you are coming from as an actor.
True.
They did that, and they made it so seamless. And Milan sir, because he was in love with the character, and he has a huge eye for detail when it comes to clothing, when it comes to discovery of the character through the external being, and he gives all the freedom and the importance. So yeah, we had some like 15, 16 look tests.
Wow.
And a lot of thought went into the hair, into the styling. He must have tried everything under the sun. And it was a lovely process.
Okay. As she talks about the actor's creativity into the, a show or film, anytime you do anything that, you bring something new to the character. So how was it on the sets? And because we all know that Milan sir is very much into perfection of his characters and, surroundings and sets and everything. So did you guys bring out something as your creativity, and did he take it? Or was he like strict that no, you have to follow the rules?
I think it's you're very fortunate when you're on a project when the director has absolute clarity about what he wants. It's the best thing an actor can have, where he gives you a roadmap, but he's also giving you freedom to collaborate. on it.
Right.
And absolutely, to answer the second part of your question, was he open to inputs and for you bringing in your own bits? I think that's what makes him cool, and that's why the series and the look that you see is very different. It's got a Milan Luthria theme, but it's also very, very modern in the way that it looks. And that only happens when you implicitly trust a bunch of young technicians, whether it's stylists or whether it's your editing team or your actors. And I definitely felt a lot of that. And I think that comes with the kind of experience that he comes with. You have to be very secure in your own process to say, okay, show me what you got and I'll tell you if you're going off.
Okay.
And just to add on to that, the kind of the process which we have had, the collaboration, especially with a legendary filmmaker like Milan sir, and he's so open, like he can just come to an actor would not even expect to change or alter anything, because that is what you're there for.
Yeah.
But he's a person, he came with utmost amount of openness. Like there were times in a day I have had experience with him when I have gone to him and said, "Ki sir, can we try this?" And he'll say, "No, I think this is correct."
Okay.
And then there was a scene I've shot where I have gone there and I said, "Ki sir, this is how I am feeling it." And he changed the entire blocking.
Wow.
After the camera was set, everything was done and we were just there. It was a scene between me and Mouni. And he said, okay, just give me a moment. And he said, okay. He went to the DOP Vishnu Rao and he said, okay, the thing is, I think this is how it will look better. And he changed the entire blocking. So that's the kind of, a filmmaker he is, what Tahir was just talking.
And also, he's very receptive to your ideas. He would definitely listen, but if he feels this is going out of the character's arc, then he'll explain it to you why he feels a certain way, why you should do it a certain way. So it was very easy to walk up to him and discuss anything under the sun regarding a character or the series.
Lovely. Nishant, also coming to you, आपने ट्रेलर लॉन्च में बोला था कि you are playing a character that you have never played before, but Milan was very quick to say कि आपने जो कमीनापन दिखाया है अपने कैरेक्टर में वो actually आप में है, but looking at your face, nobody is going to say that. How did you play this grey character? I still cannot believe that you are going to be the grey character in the show, because you are the sweetest looking of them all.
I think guys, हम बाकियों को निकाल जाना
Sweetest.
Acha, okay. You guys got it, the charming kind of thing.
Coming to the question.
You can take your time to blush then.
No.
Then you can respond.
Thank you so much, first of all.
You're blushing.
Okay, can I answer, please?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so छोटे से ही जैसे when I was young, और हर कोई बोलता था कि छोटे में नहीं बोलते इसकी भोली शक्ल पे मत जाना, इसकी भोली शक्ल पे मत जाना.
So you are that person.
No, so after playing RP, I realized what they meant. तो मुझे पता चला कि हाँ, okay, somewhere हाँ कुछ तो है जो मैं सोचता नहीं हूँ कि मैं हूँ, पर कुछ लोगों को शायद दिख जाता है कि ये है.
भोली सूरत दिल के खोटे.
हाँ, भोली सूरत दिल के खोटे. I think that would suit RP much more than me. Yeah.
Also, when I was watching the trailer, I was also going through the comments, and there was this one comment for you, Tahir, that said, Tahir is one of the most deserving actors of this generation. So I would first like to ask you that what are your thoughts on it? And secondly, do you believe that after spending a lot of time in the industry, the last 2 years have been very generous to you in terms of getting the characters that you actually deserve?
Thank you for that. Like, it took me a moment just to sing it, to let it sink in. The past 2 years, yes, I do not take them for granted at all. They have been incredibly generous, not in terms of only the volume of work, but the kind of variety of work. If you look at 83, which Nishant and I had the good fortune of being on, or Ye Kali Kali Aankhein, and Loop Lapeta, and they were all so different from each other. And then the cherry on the cake, Sultan of Delhi, to be playing a part which is an alpha with so much action, is just so different, and to be with an incredibly talented bunch of actors on set. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that when you go through a journey of 1 year, you're so committed to what is going on the day in the scene that you're focused only on your scene, your co-actor, your this thing. But after 1 year, when you see that trailer on screen, like we all saw on the day of the trailer launch, does it sink in to say, okay, we've made that?
Right.
The largeness of the canvas doesn't necessarily always strike you when you're sitting in the vanity van or when you're rehearsing or when you're trying costumes. But when all of it comes together, the value of what you have all shared strikes you a little more.
I think a lot of people have asked us, saying, what was the response to the trailer like?
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm always thinking that no one has asked me, what was your response to it like? Because when I saw it for the first time, I didn't expect none of it in terms of when you're shooting, you don't realize what you're shooting.
And you don't even know कि कौन सा frame कहाँ पे आके कहाँ पे आप fit होने वाले हो.
And then suddenly you see something like that and you yourself are an audience to the trailer, and that happens rarely because a lot of times you are doing a project and you know what to expect. But this trailer, when I saw it, I was like as stunned as the audience. I was looking at it and I was like, okay, am I a part of it? That's great. I'd like to watch it.
Anjumm, talking about multi-starrer, you have been a part of multi-starrer even before, and you have solely come out as a character which people actually, talk about. So I'm sure that you do not have a problem in a multi-starrer film. But then, do you also fear of the fact that you could be sidelined in any show or any film?
Well, no, I would say mainly because I really have a lot of belief in whatever work. I think you're referring to Mirzapur also.
Yes.
हाँ, हम लोग खुल के बात कर सकते हैं उसके बाद. So, the kind of content I have been lucky to be associated with, be it Mirzapur or Sultan of Delhi. One, it's a very well-written show, very well-written script. So, and then once you know the world, and then you know the significance and the placement and the positioning of your character, and then the other characters, I firmly, personally believe that unless and until it's a collaborative, performing arts is a collaborative effort. It cannot happen in isolation. So unless or until you have a equally good, cast or an actor in front of you, even you would also not come out well. So it has never come to I have never seen it like that. And even with Sultan of Delhi, when this show came to me and this role was offered to me, I knew, like, often Milan sir also says ki, in this era, in this time, the two parallel characters, hero type things, people don't really make or accept. But I think we kind of have similar viewpoints on that as an actor, if you're secure and if you know that this is what you are doing and this is what the other character is, and they're very distinctive, and you know that the combination, when they'll come together, then it'll work for the story. So if you have clarity, security, and you have a certain kind of contentment, then I think all these things doesn't really come.
Of course,
and I've had a great experience, collaborating in the kind of bond you are talking about with Tahir. And
also, sorry to cut you off in the middle. Tahir looks like a very angry man. How did you manage, getting into that friendship?
So I'll tell you,
You do. You're very intimidating.
No, you get.
Finally, someone has said it. I had to say a lot of things,
and good.
I was
just
so
kidding, by the way.
scared. मुझे लग रहा था इनसे पूछूं भी नहीं पूछूं कि हटा दो बाकी लोगों से पूछूं.
No, he's quite a funny guy. He's not at all an angry man.
I'm glad you asked this.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad you've asked this question, but but there are some. Even in our cast, some people used to be initial days used to think like that. कि अरे यार ताहिर थोड़ा intimidating है, वो क्या सोचता है, वो गुस्से में रहता है. And I don't know, for some reason they used to, like Harleen had this conversation with me, another actor in the show, and maybe for some reason they used to ask me, because we had spent so many days together on the show, and I used to be, see, the thing is, he's not angry or something. He is disciplined. So Tahir is a very disciplined person. Also because as an actor, the kind of background he is, he doesn't waste his energy on too many things on set while he's working. He likes to be disciplined. He likes to do his thing. Like, we have started conversations and trying, having, chilling and all after we had already shot 60% of the show.
Wow.
So, and I mean, I never saw it like that, because I also have that kind of understanding here. You take your space. I'm in my space. Like, we often talk about this thing. I think the best thing to share in a friendship is if you can share your silences comfortably.
That's absolutely right.
So yeah.
And you have to have experienced something. Like with Nishant, because of 83 and we had gone through that journey, we were already comfortable. If we were made to sit in a green room on set, if we didn't speak to each other, no one would be offended. Why is he quiet? And within, I think, 15-20 days of shooting, Anjumm and I had reached that point, and I really enjoyed that about him, is that he had respect for the process. It might have been different from his process, but he understood that he कुछ work related कर रहा है, and it's not personal, and which is what made it great. But in life, I'd like to assure you, and through you, all your viewers, that I am not.
He is not
I'm
angry.
Guys, do not trust him. He's not what this guy is behind the camera. Trust me. Anyway, Anupriya, when we talk about going by the trailer, we have seen that you have got a lot of intimate scenes in the show. And I'm sure that as an actor, it does not affect you. But as a person, how difficult does it get to perform such scenes? And also, do you, get a help with an intimate coordinator to perfect your scene on screen?
So, as a person, I mean, you've already clarified that as an actor also.
Of course.
So I won't go there unnecessarily. But as a person, it depends. I mean, I think I've always been very sure of what I'm ready to do on screen as an actor and as a person in both the ways. Like, I remember when I had started out, I always wanted to do a lot of this grungy work, independent cinema. You come around saying कि मुझे independent काम करना है, वो art movies करनी है. And उस वक्त when I had started in 2012, 2013 actually, उस वक्त बहुत ये आर्टी सिनेमा के लोग जो आ रहे थे, they were constantly demanding nudity.
Okay.
And full surrender.
Okay.
That हमें सब करना है. We will not promise you as to what level, because we want actors who fit into that space and we don't have to restrict ourselves.
Okay.
A lot of such queries used to come. And I would not judge them for that. I would understand where they're coming from, but I as an actor was very sure that, listen, I can kiss, I can go do this, I can do a backless. I was still very sure, even though I was very new at that time. But I used to be very sure that I can't promise you that yet, because I haven't tried different shades of acting right now.
True.
For me to ever feel कि मैं यहाँ तक मैंने ये सब कर लिया, अब मुझे ये करना है कि मैं वो भी तो जर्नी जी लूँ as an actor, कि वो as a person मुझे क्या करता है.
Right.
So हाँ, मैं हरदम बहुत sure रही हूँ. मैंने first काम इस तरह का किया था नागेश कुकनूर के साथ माया में. And उस वक्त में, that was in 2015. Though I trusted him as a director a lot, I was not ready as a person to do certain scenes that I had to. And Nagesh sir understood that. And there were times I would cry myself to sleep at night, because I would just be like, yaar, I'm not ready yet. I used to know that. But I didn't want to let go of an opportunity, because the character was beautiful.
Yes, yes.
More than the story, the character was beautiful. So, but I trusted him a lot, and I think that then is very important, that as a person and as an actor, you trust the director and the reason why he's doing those things, those scenes in the film, really, however cliche that sounds, and whether your role is more than that.
Okay.
For me, that really matters, that whether that role is just to titillate the audiences or to bring in the sex element, and if it is that, it's correct, as long as you are okay with it and you know it as a performer, aware of it. And or is it bringing in more shades, or are you learning something? There are various reasons to it. So when you put all those reasons, whether you're getting to work with the director, whether you're getting to try a certain other angle to yourself as a performer, if it's a certain other look that you're exploring, which were a lot of tick boxes in this, in this series for me. Then doing all those things which are uncomfortable probably, or test you at certain times, become okay. Because all those other reasons are there which are being satisfied with.
Right.
And fortunately, I had Nishant to work with.
Same here.
Who's very, very easy to work with in that area. Milan sir, who's also very, very sensitive to it. Like Nishant keeps saying, I think I was too involved in getting ready and being on set and getting ready and being on set again to realize that even sir used to be very uncomfortable during those scenes, which lends a little bit of softness to his approach. And as a person, I think there were certain times, I think there is one scene in this series which became very daunting on me.
Okay.
Now that I see it on camera, I'm very, very satisfied, which again is a reaffirmation. But yeah, that I will remember that day, because in the morning there was an intense scene. Evening when we shot it, that scene went on for 5 hours, which was a lot for
Of
that
course.
kind of a scene for me.
Of course.
Plus, it was hot, we were sweaty, it was physically very taxing, and I had to dress up for a shadi sequence right after, which called for 2.5 hours of makeup again right after that.
Wow.
And when you are in a position where some 100 people have seen you, and you
I get
go
it.
through a
Yeah.
process,
You
need time to let go.
Of course.
that energy. But sometimes you just don't have that space. Nobody
True.
can help it. And I was told to get rest in half an hour or 40 minutes again. And I remember telling this woman that, listen, you're a woman, I'm a woman. I've been through something right now. Let me just breathe.
Sink in.
If I'm saying this is quite a lot, because
Of
generally I
course.
don't get days
Okay.
like that. So yeah, there are those times. But yeah, having said that, it's also very rewarding because you grow a lot.
I'm sure. Let's end this on a lighter note. I just want to ask you कि आप लोग अगर अपने कैरेक्टर्स में से कोई एक चीज नहीं लेकर जाना चाहते तो वो क्या है?
उसका गुस्सा.
He's very edgy.
By the way, आपको गुस्सा है ना? आपके फेस पे आपको पता है ना?
नहीं, मेरे को नहीं पता, पर आज पता लग गया मुझे.
बहुत
Anupriya.
गुस्सा है.
Character का
Something that you don't want.
थोड़ा meanness.
Okay.
आरपी की बहुत चीजें हैं जो मैं लेके नहीं जा रहा हूं, तो मैं एक दुविधा में हूँ कि मैं क्या चूज करूँ, क्योंकि उसको कैसे छोड़ दूँ, पर उसकी especially the domestic violence kind side of him,
Okay.
I don't want.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.